hi, I did see you there. I wanted to make another video about another experience of mine at Galaxcon, and to preface this, in the other video I talk about my cosplay and various experiences I had at the con while in cosplay, and about how in 2023 we wanted to go to Galaxcon because Kate Mulgrew was going to be there, who plays Captain Janeway in Star Trek Voyager, and Admiral Janeway in Star Trek Prodigy. Obviously in 2023 that I hadn't seen Prodigy yet because, there's a whole mess of reasons why. Streaming sites. Why? Why Paramount? Why? Just why? Thank you, Netflix. Yay. So we bought tickets for Galaxcon 2023 because Kate Mulgrew is going to be there, and she's someone I really want to meet. She's one of my heroes. So sadly 2 weeks before the con she cancelled because of the SAG writer's strike, which I fully respect, that's fine, but the fangirl in me was very disappointed. But we ended up attending anyway, and so we met Tate Donovan, who voices the adult Hercules in the Disney movie Hercules, my favourite movie of all time. And I also met Richard Horvitz as well, and probably the highlight of the convention for me, the reason for that is because there was a proposal that happened in front of me in line. When they got to the table, the guy proposed to his partner. So that in itself was a privilege to see. So, and I was the person in line after them, and I was like, I asked Richard Horvitz, do you need a moment to process what just happened? He was like, no, I'm good. So I'm like, alright. Actors, you're amazing. This year, the main draw for me was that Wil Wheaton was going to be there. And so Wil Wheaton, for those that don't know, played Wesley Crusher in Star Trek Next Generation and Star Trek Prodigy. And this is why I'm telling people, if you are a Star Trek fan, don't write off Star Trek Prodigy just because it's animated. So many people are dismissing it for that reason, which is a really stupid reason. I mean, look at Lower Decks, that's incredible. So anyway, so one of the main reasons, or the main reason why I love Star Trek so much is because it was the show that I watched with my sister together. And so that's the original, that's Star Trek Next Generation, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and Star Trek Voyager. And Star Trek Voyager was our show. That was the one that both me and her were just so obsessed with. And it's not just because it was the first female captain. We just loved that. Not only was it the first female captain, it was also the first female engineer. Come on, like what? So we grew up on this stuff, and this was back before like streaming was a thing, so we had to wait weeks before like new episodes were released. And trying explaining that to kids nowadays, like they have no clue. they just binge watch everything, and nowadays with social media you kind of have to avoid spoilers. I didn't get to meet Kate Mulgrew, but when I saw that Wil Wheaton was going to be a guest at this convention, I'm like, I have to go. I have to do this. So the reason why is because I've made videos about this before. My sister passed away 4 years ago in 2020 after a struggle with cancer, and so Star Trek means a lot to me because of her. And so I've decided to make it a mission in life to try to meet as many Star Trek actors as possible to tell them how much this means to me. And so I wanted to say this to Kate Mulgrew first, and that was why we bought one of the reasons why we bought the tickets was to tell her that first. So we missed out on the opportunity to do that, but this year I managed to say it to Wil Wheaton on how much Star Trek means to me. And I mentioned Star Trek Prodigy, by the way, because when I mentioned how much I love Star Trek Prodigy, and when I heard his voice, I leapt off my sofa. His face lit up. Like, he obviously really loves this show and what it did for the character. And he was wearing a face mask, by the way, but his eyes when I mentioned Prodigy, my god, just when I told him about that, and I didn't get a selfie with him. I didn't really feel that was appropriate, but because I don't really do that. But he did sign this for me, which is a screenshot of Wesley with his mother. And this is a moment that a lot of people have been waiting for. If you know Wesley's character arc, you'll understand why this moment in particular is one that people have been wanting to see for a long time. So hopefully one day I'll get to a convention and I'll meet Kate Mulgrew. But for now, I'll be patient and wait and see if the opportunity arises again. So yeah, quite possibly my favourite, the best moment at the convention was meeting Will Wheaton. I love you, Josh Keaton, but Will Wheaton's been the character of Wesley has been part of my like obsession with Star Trek for a long time. So to meet the actor that portrays the character meant so much more to me. In spite Josh Keaton voicing the main character in my favorite movie of all time, the significance of Star Trek in my life kind of now especially, I realize how much it actually means to me. To have the opportunity that, you know, these conventions give people the opportunity to meet these people that play the characters in these shows and movies, and like the whole parasocial thing, you feel like you know them, and obviously you don't, so you need to remember that they are people, they are human. It's just that moment you just want to bridge the gap, so that meeting actors that have played in Star Trek makes me feel like I'm still connected to my sister in a way. And I said that to Will Wheaton when I said, like, when I'm watching Prodigy, I felt like my sister was back with me. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he like basically said that means a whole lot. That's what Star Trek does for people, and even now it still does. You know, people say, oh come on, it's just a TV show, who cares? And I'm like, or if people that were fans of Star Trek aren't really fans of it now for whatever reason, they'll, you know, I mean, the franchise has gone through hell, like creatively, like production hell, whatever. That's a topic for another day entirely, but this is more on a personal note on how much this franchise means to me. I'm very, very lucky to be able to meet the actors that play these characters, and Will Wheaton is the best one I've encountered in regards to, it felt like it wasn't a performance, you know, sometimes when you meet actors at cons, they're performing. Yes, they have to force it because it's a lot of energy. They're meeting like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of people in a very short amount of time, and that is very socially draining. And you know, they have to interact with them like people. They're like, they talk to them like they know them, and obviously the actor doesn't. So it can be very awkward. And as a YouTuber, I have encountered that on a smaller scale. So it's I know what it's like on the other side to a little bit. It's nowhere near the level of these people. I should point out, I was in the line to meet Will Wheaton for almost an hour. And I know other people wait in line for longer. Some people were waiting to meet other celebrities and they were in line for 5 hours, if not the entire day. There was, I have met John Delancey twice, and I would like to try to meet him again if he is a guest at another convention, to tell him that, because that I didn't say that to him, so that's one thing I need to do if I meet the guy again. Galaxcon, well done. On to Galaxcon 2025. And now I have to decide what cosplay to wear for next year. Yay. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'm Mad Munchkin. Stay creative. Bye.